Hi guys, this week's video is actually on something near and dear to my heart, which is basically to stop making yourself crazy while trying to stop being crazy. If you don't know exactly what I mean there, because it sounds like something a crazy person would say, because let's face it, I've already gone crazy. I have 2 small children. Any chance I had is gone. But basically, like I said, I hope you can hear me. There's crazy wind out there today. And yesterday I was going to do the videos. We came into a harbor. It was a beautiful day. Like, the sun was splitting the rocks and there was no wind and it was absolutely beautiful. It was actually a really good harbor day to kind of anchor up, get showers. We went to the beach. And I decided actually I was going to go to the beach. I was like, you know what? I know these videos will probably take me about 15-20 minutes because I also want to do a couple other videos for another session. But I was like, you know what? No, I want to actually go to the beach, enjoy the day with my children, and if tomorrow's a bit windy, then tomorrow's a bit windy, or if it's raining and I can't get the shots I want to get, because I actually was hoping to do this outside from the cockpit, but I can't because it is just too crazy windy out there right now, and any chance you have of hearing me here, it's absolutely gone once we step outside, so that's that. But anyway, the point being is that a part of me had to be kind of quieted. That part of me that kind of listens to all the internet craziness that says hustle, 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 and kind of says you're not really valid unless you are hustling. And then I was like, you know what? No, you're doing it again. And this actually happened to me about 2 years ago when Kai was only a couple months old. And I was really stressed out because obviously I wasn't writing enough, and that was different. I should have been writing more, but it wasn't just the writing that was stressing me out. It was the fact that I wasn't publishing and I wasn't online anymore. And when I thought about it, when I really think about what my perfect day is, it's some time with the kids, some time alone to write and drink coffee in a cafe by myself, preferably in exotic locations, and then to come home and, if I have a chance, to publish them, to promote them, and do things like that. But the part that I really, really love and enjoy is actually the sitting in a cafe, drinking coffee, and writing. And I realized that I've actually have been able to do this for many years. Obviously, I started teaching English, and I've been traveling for almost my entire adult life. And even in Germany, you know, like I spent almost 10 years there now, and I mean, Berlin is a fantastic city for going to cafes and writing, come off it. So why was I so stressed out? And it was because I started actually not listening to myself, and I started letting the internet, especially the crazy internet, it's like, you gotta hustle, you gotta hustle, you gotta hustle. Why are you making more money? Why are you making more money? And you know what? If you want to make more money, that's fine. That's not an issue. But for me, at the time, I didn't even want more money. I was perfectly happy with the amount of money I had. What I wanted was some time to write and to build my fiction and my nonfiction books and my backlist and everything else. And I was doing it. And instead of just letting myself enjoy this time, I let myself go crazy, wondering why wasn't I pushing myself? Why wasn't I hustling more? And again, there's a time and place for everything. And I think this is also an important thing, that where's that fine line? If you want to write full time, you need to write. You can't wait for the muse to show up. At the same time, are you really enjoying it if you're feeling nothing but stress? But I have to write, I have to write, I have to do this, I have to do that. And so I think it's also really important that as creatives, it's perfectly fine if our creativity is a hobby, then let it be a hobby. Even if it's a hobby you make money from, even if it's just coffee money. I mean, for years, my writing only made coffee money. It can't make more than that because I wasn't pushing it, I wasn't promoting it. But I had 2 really small children, and I just didn't have it in me to push and promote. And now, once my kids got a bit bigger and we've decided to do this sailing trip, I realized that actually, no, I'm ready now. I want to do the promoting. I want to do the pushing. I want to be active. I want to be talking to you guys. I still want the writing and the cafe in the meantime, but I also want to be doing this on a wider scale. And that's fine because I've decided this for myself, that this is what I want, not letting other people come in and try to make these decisions for me. And I think this is really easy with the internet, that you kind of go, okay, everyone else is hustling, so I need to hustle too. And then I also think, well, often at the end of these like big hustling articles or podcasts, whatever I just listened to, they then say, well, then don't forget to buy my course and I'll solve this problem for you. I'm like, well, of course, they just try to stress me out. They're trying to sell me something. So be careful with that, guys. I mean, I'm not saying you can't buy courses. I'm a course addict. I love buying courses. But again, I think it's really important that we always just kind of check in, and this is also something I want to do with the journals and all the workbooks and whatnot. It's just this constant check-in, like, what do I want from this? And so if I know already what I want from this, you're much more aware when you kind of go into something, when things start to go wrong. I want to say go schief, because that's such a great word, you know, like in German, like everything starts going slanted or sideways or whatever. You kind of go, wait, no, this is actually what I want. And it's perfectly fine if things have changed, but at least you're constantly checking in with yourself and going, wait, is this really why I'm doing this? And if it isn't, I need to change it. And if it is, that's fine. I think we're constantly learning about ourselves, and it's nothing but a sense of self-discovery, and that's fine. But that's why I really want to stress with the journals and going deeper and whatnot, is to constantly asking yourself, okay, is this really for me? Why do I want this? And is this really what I want? Because that can be quite a difficult thing sometimes. Often we think we want something that we really don't. And yeah, again, Danielle Laporte, I love her stuff, which is basically, you know what you want, but why do you want it? And it's all about thinking what your own feelings and what do you think that this action is going to bring you. So that's it. Again, I'm still practicing these things. I'll eventually be a bit more concise. But the point being is that I want you guys to think, when you start going crazy and you start thinking about the hustle and you start thinking, I'm not doing enough and I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. Again, it's the journey. It's not just the destination. And I found this out when I first started thinking about writing and publishing, and everyone's like, well, once I publish the book, but once you publish the book, there's another book. And after that, there's another book. And after that, there's another book. So like, it's not the book. It should be actually the writing, the process, the getting the book out, the promoting it. It's all one giant package. And if there's things you don't like, that's fine. You can pay other people to do it, and there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to do everything. But at the same time, if you don't have the money to pay other people, then you have to start thinking, okay, well, how can I do this on a smaller scale? How do I trade things off? These are all things to be considered. But the point being is, don't let other people kind of force you into thinking that you need to be doing more. If you're perfectly happy with writing your projects and never making a single cent from them, you don't need to be hustling. Or if you think, you know what, no, I want to make money from this, I don't want to be doing anything else, but I hate the idea of my name out there, write it under a pen name. Like, there's all kinds of different solutions, but the important thing is to kind of find out for yourself what the solution is, what the problem is. And yeah, this is actually going a lot longer than I thought this week. I'll cut it off right there. But it's something I really want people to think about. It's like, why do I want this? And if other people are telling me things, sometimes it really is for my own good, and other times it's also for their own good, or based on their experience. I mean, sometimes I talk about things too that I'm just like, oh, this is so true for me. It's so true for me, but it might not be so true for you. And I think the important thing is then to take these things on board, consider them, and just remember that no one knows you better than you. And as tempting as it is to give that agency away, we need to fight it, including, and there goes Mango barking. Oh, Mango, it's okay. Anyway, I was about to stop anyway. I'm not redoing that. I'm going to go stop Mango from barking at little kids walking past her boat. And I want you guys to think about that, because it's important. Don't let other people decide for you. And they have their own agendas, and sometimes it's a good one and sometimes it's a bad one. But the point being is that even when it's meant in the most fantastic, loving manner, you still need to take it on yourself. And yeah, the last thing I'll say about that is, the thing that I always try to remember is one of my friends once told me that she once broke up with a boyfriend who was really, really wrong for her. And all her friends and family pushed her so hard to break up with him. And since then, she basically says that she thinks about him every single day, and her family just have moved on. They never think about it anymore. And she's the one who needs to live with that decision. And in the end, it was probably the right decision. She probably should have came to that decision eventually. But the point being is that the people who love you so much, they're not the ones who are going to live with your decisions. So even if they're thinking about it with your best intentions, it doesn't always mean that the best intentions make that the right decision for you. So it also happens when you're looking around, thinking about the hustle and everything else. Don't make yourself crazy trying not to be crazy. Think about right now. How do I change it right now? Like, not 6 months down the road, not a year down the road, not once I've accomplished this goal. What can I do right now to make my life a little less crazy? And don't make yourself crazy trying to stop the crazy. Hope that makes sense. Bye.